Hey guys, so Lord here, back in with another action figure review, and today we'll be wrapping up my looks at the TMNT 2012 Monster Series with Michelangelo as the Wolfman. Ow, ow, ow! That said, that is about as far as my enthusiasm for this figure is going to go in this review, and I'll get into that, but it should be worth noting that this, of course, brought to us by the fine folks over at Playmates Toys, and is by far my least favorite figure of this whole entire wave, with the exception of the Monster Hunter Raphael. He is probably the actual worst, this guy's second, then the Mummy Leo, and then the top three would probably have to be the Vampire Raph, Frankendon, and Monster Hunter Leo. Surprisingly, the Van Helsing looking Leo is my preferred Leo of the two, despite the fact I love me some mummies, but that Mummy Leo is whack, dude. That said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Werewolf, Wolfman, whatever you want to call it, Michelangelo has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of bone nunchucks. He only comes with one pair, which is lame AF. I don't know why they only gave you one pair of these, but that's all you got. Then he also comes with a piece of pizza, which looks like it's covered in blood and not cheese and pepperonis and whatnot. So, yeah, could have used a little paint on that, guys. But either way, I definitely wouldn't be eating that. So why don't we take a closer look at Mikey here. And first thing to note, they didn't paint Wolfpack on his back. It's just sculpted on there. I would have rather they not sculpted it at all. If you're not going to paint it, why even... I don't know. And yeah, he looks like frickin' Michael J. Fox from I Was a Teenage Werewolf, which Michael J. Fox could pull that off. And to be honest with you, if this line was more comedic, like if Donatello, Frankenstein's monster, whatever you want to call it, looked more like, whatchamacallit there, Young Frankenstein, and Raphael looked more like Blackula or something. And Leonardo looked more like, what was it? Unwrapped, that Disney Channel movie? Can't remember. It's something wrapped. Then I would be okay with this, because it'd be a comedic direction. But the freaking Frankenstein Donatello has a bolt through his freaking skull. Not on his neck, through his forehead, essentially lobotomizing him. So, relatively dark. And this is like super light, kid-friendly. Like, it doesn't fit. I would have preferred American Werewolf in London as opposed to I Was a Teenage Werewolf, is where I'm getting at. Not to mention, he is so tiny, like, he is not even the length of my hand. Like, even with my fingers bent in, he's not that big. So, yeah, very, very small, and very, very kind of plain, if I do say so myself. But as far as articulation goes, his head will rotate. He does have a little bit of tilt. A little bit up and down. He does have the ears again. I'm not sure why turtles have ears. That said, his arms will go past 90, so you got that. Rotate back and forth. He does have a single elbow, which does not give you 90, surprisingly. He doesn't have a lot to restrict it, but whatever. He does have a swivel in the wrist. He doesn't even have claws. Look at that. They're very, very minute claws. Alright, he does have claws, never mind. I was going to say, does he not have claws? I thought he did. And then his legs can kick forward and back. Rotate, so you can kick him in and out. Then he does have a single jointed knee, which does rotate. Then he's got one lone toe joint on this side. You can see the claws on his feet there. So, funny enough, the two weakest figures in this line, or two of the weakest figures in this line, have the added toe articulation. For why, I don't really know. You don't need it to get him to stand. We'll say, because these bone nunchucks are gummy, you're going to want to be careful trying to push them into his hand, but you can do it. Set it like that. And there he is. Ready to rock, I guess. I don't know. It just bums me out because my girlfriend and I, we both really like werewolves, and the fact that this one's kind of lame, it does kind of suck a bit. That said, we also like us some vampires too. So at least that one was good, right? Right? Either way. That being said, I think it is time now that we move right along and take a look-see at how Wolfman, Werewolf, whatever you want to call it, Michelangelo, scales in comparison to his fellow monster brothers. First up, and as promised, here's good old Wolfman Michelangelo alongside his fellow monsterized Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle brothers. We have Leonardo as the Mummy, Raphael as Dracula, blah blah blah, they don't say that, as well as Donatello as Frankenstein's monster. And yeah, of the group, if I had to rank them, I would probably go Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, then Michelangelo. I mean, look at how squat and small and short he is compared to his brothers here. I don't think the original Mikey was this short from this 2012 series. So yeah, definitely downsized the heck out of him here. That said, getting the three of them out of the way. And centering Wolfman, Werewolf, whatever you want to call him, Michelangelo. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. And look even shorter. I swear, this guy is probably smaller than the Mythic Legion's Goblin. We also have the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. Especially in this case, because I don't even think two of this guy would reach the same height as good old Al Simmons here. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while the Wolfman may be one of my favorite Universal monsters of all time, I can't say it works well blended together with good old Michelangelo here, especially when they went the whole I was a teenage werewolf look. I mean, Michael J. Fox may have been able to rock that in the 80s, but I don't think it works out well here. Sure, it makes sense for Michelangelo since he's the party dude, but I like my monster turtles to be a little less comedic and a little bit more terrifying, if you know what I mean. That, and like Leonardo, he only comes with one pair of nunchucks. It would have been cool if we got two pairs of bone nunchucks here, but it is what it is, I suppose. And I hate to end my looks at the 2012 Monster Turtles on a bit of a down note, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, or I guess in this case, the pizza crust crumbles. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.